What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Nikki Diamond here on Apply Pressure to Life podcast, and I just want to welcome you guys back to our new episode where we are actually having our first nail tech hour. This is our nail talk where we are in the salon, and this is a very first interview with one of my clients. I'm actually doing her manicure in this next episode. She comes in and gets a gel manicure. Her name is Coco, and we have really good conversations, and I'm excited about this because I wanted to give a new look on the nail industry and the conversations that we have in the nail salons. We all know what the vibes are when you go into a barbershop. We all know the vibes of when you go into the hair salon and the girl talk and the gossip and, the guy talk and whatever. And I want to just give a little light on how the conversations go in the nail salon. And so what I did was, in the midst of me talking about the colors that we're gravitating to, I wanted to be able to involve my clients who, one, have been wanting me to do this podcast for a really long time, but I also have new clients who engage in conversations that I'm just now starting to record on a regular basis, and I just want to give them a platform to be able to express their opinions based off of the subjects that I'm talking here on Apply Pressure to Life. And what's exciting about this one is that this is our very first recorded interview with one of my clients. So when you guys listen to this, I do want you guys to understand that it is in a nail salon. It is in a Vietnamese nail salon right here in North Las Vegas. But there is audio in the background, so you guys really got to pay attention to our conversation, which you can hear very clearly. But we are in a nail salon, so there's going to be things going on in the background, but at least you get to hear the vibes, and soon hopefully we can record and actually see the vibes and how we interact with each other and how much fun we have when we communicate with each other and the subjects that we talk about. And so with this one, it's really dope. Like I said, it's my girl Coco, and because of my last episode, we talked about the color blue and gravitating to blue, and because blue is our intuition color, this is also the color of the throat chakra, which means that this is an avenue of where communication can either be high or low. And so what I would like to do, especially with my platform, is help break the barriers of communication. I know a lot of people who don't want to be the closest to me is because I ask too many questions. I communicate too much. Sometimes people want me to let things go and just drop things, and I'm just one of those people who would like to have understanding, which I don't think that's a bad thing, but I have patience in wanting to know the next person's thought process and communicate that out, and some people don't. At least this is what I'm analyzing in my lifetime, and so I would like Apply Pressure to be one of the platforms to help us get to a better place of communication. And so what we did is go ahead and get some, people's opinion. And since I wanted to show the vibrations of what it's like in the nail salon, like I said, I went ahead and interviewed some clients. This is my first client, Coco, and we're talking about communication, and we're talking about necessarily how social media has altered or has made communication better based of her opinion as well as my own. And so I'm excited for you guys to hear this out. If you guys want to hear more, please make sure that you subscribe, and also make sure that you hit that notification button, so that way anytime an episode drops and you're just out and about your day, that you'll at least get that notification that another episode dropped. As well as, please go ahead and follow my audio podcast, meaning go onto Spotify, Podlist, Amazon Music, and a few other ones, which the links are in my Instagram, Apply Pressure _to_life. So that way, if you guys don't have the time to actually go here on YouTube, then you can actually hear the audio while you're in your car or anywhere else while you're doing your thing. So just don't forget to push that subscribe button and a notification button, okay? Well, nevertheless, I'm not going to hold it to you. This is our very first salon talk with my girl Coco. Let me know what you guys think. This is a subject of communication. Here we go.
People be talking about it's a vibe, nigga. Now this shit right here is a vibe, nigga. You feel that shit in your heart, you know what I mean? If you from the West Coast, you already know. You feel this shit in your soul, nigga. LA, we just do LA shit. Simple and plain. Yeah.
I'm finna be famous. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, girl. No, look, on Apply Pressure, like, you know, I want people to be as natural with their answers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just how we are, like, when we always doing your nails.
I got
or
you.
when we talking on the phone. It's the same thing.
Just be myself.
Yeah, that's
I got
it. That's all I'm asking. Simple. Yeah, so the reason why I'm talking about communication is because, you know, my last episode was about the throat chakra, and that's the color of communication. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want to be able to understand people's mindset and how communication is going right now and how we can possibly get better, you know, when it comes down to communication. So that's why I asked you, like, how do you feel social media has impacted communication?
Well, you know, being from the old school, we didn't have all the devices that we have today, like social media, Facebook, texting, and all of that. So we had no choice but to face-to-face confront people and say what we feel or address issues at that time. So I think social media has really impacted it and took a lot of that away from real talk. You know, people are able to go behind the scenes and say what they want and not directly to people's faces.
Right.
Be it good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Be it good or bad. And so with that, I think also it interferes with listening skills. Because I don't have to hear you if all I have to do is block you or cut you off. You know what I'm saying? If you say something I don't like, then I don't have to do what you no more. Right. Whereas back in the day, face-to-face talk was real talk. You know, you addressed it, and if it led to something, it led to something. If not, you know, it was what it was.
Right.
But you got your point across, you know, without all the other hidden factors people do today. You know, people get on these platforms and they say what they want to say, and they're not addressed on whether they're logically saying something or what they're saying is truthful or not truthful. They just say what they say, and nobody can address it unless they come back in a text or social media.
Get that time to think and figure out what they got to say versus just being authentic in that moment. I agree when it comes down to that, because people have a different motive sometimes or don't like to really be transparent. So I completely understand. That's how I feel when it comes down to, you know, even social media allowing you to see when somebody read your message, whether a text message or on social media. And, you know, it really does affect somebody, you know, being ignored. And when you know purposely somebody is like ignoring you, like, how do you think that's even helping, you know, somebody even, you know, want to continue communication with the next person? You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like social media has kind of created a numbness in people?
I wouldn't say so much as a numbness. I just think it has caused us to not be real when we say what we say, and there's I think a lot of times we get misread through these social media platforms. Like, I don't like person texting, so I find myself being overextended when I talk through a text because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. Because, you know, because I'm not there in your face, so you don't know if I'm
so they gonna read it how they want to read it.
Right, you know, or what. And so I think social media has allowed us to just misread each other. And I think that also is why we got a lot of negativity on these platforms, because so many people can't physically express themselves, and we can't visually see what they're trying to say or explain. I mean, some people are just real. They just say what they say, and they don't care that there's no filter. You know
that's true.
They don't care what you think. And that's more so today, because we have an outlet now through social media. Back to what we were saying, you don't have, I can hide behind the platforms instead of in your face. Now I know some people are gonna say, I ain't hiding behind nothing. I'll tell you to your face too. You know, but it's like, okay, but if you're in New York and I'm over here in Texas, okay, who gonna fly over there and tell me what I gotta, you know, what you want to tell me?
So that's the one thing I think technology did do was create like FaceTime, so you ain't got the excuse, you know, not being able to see nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do, but how many people gonna take the time out of their day to FaceTime you and say, look, I don't like you. Whatever. No,
I don't like you. Right. No, but
not a lot of people. Yeah. But if you know that person, yeah, you might be able to do it that way.
Right.
You know, but I just think going back to what we said, the listening skills. I read what I read. You say what you say on these platforms, but yet I'm not really hearing what you're saying.
Right.
Because I already got an attitude about how you delivered it.
Right.
Because I can't see you.
Got you.
You know.
Now, do you think social media has anything to do with people being less empathetic and sympathetic?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. I don't even know if social media is the culprit. I just think, you know, being older and seeing the world itself change, I just think this particular generation, and I'm not naming millennials, centennials, or anybody, Gen Zs or anything. I'm just saying people, period, over a period of time. The world has just changed us.
That's true.
To where, you know, there used to be a point, I mean, you saw people out there that would jump in, you know, and be the hero and sympathize, empathize with a situation. But then you got some people that will walk right by you if you're getting beat up and keep on going, won't even stop.
Yeah, you're right about
that. You got
that.
Men and women that will walk right by somebody getting beat up, abused.
Right.
Physically abused, you know, and that didn't happen back in the day. You know, people would get it. But then again, people aren't getting shot up like they are today either.
Or at least you know, like you can hear about it more because like there's social media now, like people get to share that type of chaos, you know.
I just think it's the change of the world that has caused us to be empathetic to a lot of things. We just say what we want to say, how we feel, because again, no filter. Right. You know, I don't, you don't care about me, I don't care about you.
Right.
So where does that come from? I mean, if we talk about that, we got to go all the way back to parental upbringing. We got to go back to maybe something tragic happened in their lives to cause them to
not care. Right.
So I don't care. I don't care what you think. What you feel. What they're saying that these people be saying, you don't know me like that. Right. Yeah, no, I always say, like, if it don't affect you, then it don't affect you. Exactly. You know? It's not about me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's so sad. I just think that is taking a lot from this world, period. Then we go spiritually. We talk about spiritually. Then where does that put those types of people when it comes to God?
Right.
Because I think God wants us to care for each other and be empathetic and sympathetic.
Right. Well, I definitely believe, like, if there's a number of people who don't want to connect to people, then they're really not connected 100% to the Holy Spirit. Because you know how many people I've met recently, or even just I've known them for a long time, but we'll have these type of conversations, and they actually have had the mindset of, like, when we first met and being like, I want to be isolated, you know what I mean? I don't want to be around people. But then it's just like, but then how do you spread the gospel? You know what I'm saying? Like, you only live a life of self, but that's also because of, like how you said before, it roots to something, you know, it's like a trauma or something that, you know, affects you to want to communicate with people anymore. You know, you get drained out.
Well, you made a good point to me when we met about, you know, I need to share. But my whole purpose of not sharing is because of what we're talking about, how people have just become so empathetic and so mean through social media, through whatever, you know, through technology. It's just gotten so bad. Even just walking around in the world, people don't even say hi to each other anymore, hardly.
I know, like, it was literally yesterday I was in a store, and this lady, I didn't see it fall, but there was a scarf that was next to her foot, so I'm going to assume, because we're at the cash register, it was hers. And so there was a lady in front of me, and I was like, did you see if that was hers? Like, do you know if that was hers? And she was like, I honestly don't know. And I waited for 2 seconds just to see if she was going to tap her on the shoulder, just to see, like, and no, she didn't. And I was just like,
it's not my
you're
business.
weird.
It's not my business.
Right. Like, I get it, but like, why would you just let her leave it there? Like, you would want somebody to tell you if you didn't know, I'm going to have you come wash your hands. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. No, we still talking, you know, but, yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you drop some money, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But
right.
You know, but that's
right.
That's
yeah,
just,
that comes down from Greek.
You trying to be thoughtful. Hey, you dropped your scarf, you know, and
Yeah, it takes no energy, no extra effort to like let somebody know. You get what I'm saying? Like if you dropped your scarf, or if you just want to like attend to them and just like help them out with some type of way, because there was an opposite lady who she's minding her own business with her mom. You get what I'm saying? And the ladies who dropped the scarf, they're from a whole different country. They speak French. So she's trying to help them like understand how to divide. Yeah, right here. How to divide, you know, the bill or whatever it is for their purchase. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I'm watching two sides of the spectrum of, you know, cultural people, people who kind of have a connection to God, because here's this. She kept saying, God bless you. She hugged the ladies, like after they, you know, she assisted and helped them and everything like that. And she was a whole different energy versus the girl who was like, it's not my problem.
My problem.
Right. Yeah. Real quick, are we doing like a clear gel?
What you did last time.
Is that what we did? Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll meet you at the table.
The hard kind that lasts long.
Got you. Yeah. Yep. Gel manicure. I got you.
Yeah. Both niggas.
Okay. So
both of them?
No, not yet. There's nothing on them. All right. So we are back in our conversation, and I have a question when it comes down to nonverbal communication, such as body language, tones, voice, things like that. How do you feel about nonverbal communication? Like do you feel
get messages from people who
not necessarily like messages, demeanor, but do you think that like somebody's tone is important? Do you think the way that somebody carries their body and in the way that they communicate as well, even if no words are being expressed?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it can get misconstrued as well as the verbal text, because the person's body language says a lot too.
It does.
Without you even saying anything. Okay? I mean, I tell my wife all the time, you know, she might look at me a certain way, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know, what? You know, and I'm like, well, your face look discombobulated, first of all. You look like you about ready to kill or be mad.
So fix your face.
I'm fine. I'm like, well, okay. I think that plays a lot. You know, people looking at you. You know, I tell people, I'm kind of like not a child when it comes to people's body language, nonverbal. But you know how a kid can tell when an adult don't like them?
When a kid can tell when they don't like
when
them? When an adult doesn't like
you don't like kids.
How do you feel?
Don't like, I'm the same way in a sense. I feel through energy.
It's an energy thing.
Yeah. And it's not my energy, it's their energy. Right. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't believe in energy, but I really do. I believe you can give off an aura, a strong presence about what you feel and what you think without saying anything.
This is true.
To a person. So I kind of catch on to that. So sometimes personally I don't have to say anything, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right, you on one today.
Right.
You know.
Now, how can you determine on not taking it personally if somebody is like, say they're quiet and their face gives off what they say, the bitch face, you know what I mean?
Right.
But truth be told, you know how many people be like, I have that face, but I really don't be thinking about it. You know, like I really like be in a zone, and I'm just like, how can we explain that? Like, does the flesh have a mind of its own versus where the mind goes? Like,
you know what? I think it's a combination for me, willpower, because I had to train myself.
So you're aware.
Because I'm so emotional in a sense of, I'll say this, if I don't like you, I really am going to show it. because I'm not gonna say nothing.
You
to
like to keep it on your sleeve?
Yeah, I'm not. You're not gonna have any qualms whether or not I like you or not. But most people, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I like them, and I don't judge them right off the bat.
Okay.
And I think for me, I'm the type of person, I allow you to be who you are. If you're a total ass or whatever, then I know how to disconnect myself from you. You're not in my circle.
Right.
But at the same time, I go in with the mindset, it's not about me. It's not me, it's you.
Right.
Because I'm smiling,
you don't take it personally.
I'm saying hi, I'm, trying to be cordial, and you got, what you call it, the bitch face? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear it all the time, like little stink face, bitch, man, look like some stink,
If you want to have that kind of, that's on you. Your day is going to be messed up, not mine.
Right.
I'm having a wonderful day.
You said I'm having a wonderful
day. So whatever you going through it by yourself.
You can have a smile or not.
It's not going to bother me. So I'd be like, it's about you. It's not about me.
Right.
So I think people have to start training themselves to know that and not take people's behavior, demeanor so personally, even if it is directed at you.
Right.
You still have to be the bigger of the person. I always say too, I can be right now, today, the person I am today. Now, if you had asked me 20, 30 years ago, again, you probably would have looked at me a certain way. Oh, it's on and cracking.
Right.
But today, I'm the type of person I can walk away and don't, I'll be the bigger person. I don't have to go, what's wrong with you, and start the confrontation.
Right.
Or, get all in it, because I know it wasn't me, So I think people have to take their emotions out of the equation and kind of go, ask themselves privately,
right.
Did I do anything? Did I say anything?
Right.
Unless somebody's still mad at you for something that happened a week ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just think people need to, as they mature, and I'm talking about mature wisely, with wisdom. I'm not talking about aging and stuff like that. Age comes too, but wisdom as far as just knowing if you can take all the things you did not do to that person out of the equation for their behavior or their attitude or their nonverbal attitude towards you, then I think you'll be able to, not you, but people will be able to deal better with that.
Right.
And like I say, even if it is directed at you, some people are just mean. Some people just don't like themselves.
That's true. That's true.
And my mother used to always say, misery loves company. If you're miserable, I want everybody else around me to be miserable.
Right.
And that's
misery
just
like
the
company.
selfishness that some people carry.
Yeah.
So that nonverbal attitude, giving me the stank look or whatever, or just saying something just totally rude without saying it, I just think it's just...
It can stem down from anywhere.
The same thing we have, like good and evil. You know what I'm saying? You just have some people who are just, no matter what you do.
Yeah, it's true. I think a lot of people have a hard time letting go of their personal experiences and not realizing that their energy, especially when you're an adult, because at this point you have control over your element, you know what I mean? That not understanding your energy can produce what you already don't like about other people, and it comes right back to you. Like, I have a good friend of mine who is irritated 9 times out of 10. Okay, he's always like, okay, just let everybody know, stay the away from me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But that stems down to like how many people he would mask around him, and then they betrayed him after some point, or he's very knowledgeable, and when certain people don't listen to his knowledge or the way that he thinks of his own personal wisdom, he's just like, oh no, like, you not of the right circle, you not of the right mindset. So he kind of builds this wall of the people that he feels he can't elevate with or elevate from or get inspired by, you know what I mean? But like you said, it really does come from a place of sometimes hurt, betrayal, you know what I mean?
It does, but then we go back to what we say about misery, love, and company. Well, I can give you all these cliches all day long. Birds of a feather flock together. A lot of times when people are not looking on the inside, they're not looking at the fact you're attracting maybe what you might be.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're an angry person all the time, guess what? You're going to attract those angry people, those cutthroat people. You're going to attract those people. You're not going to attract that positive energy because your energy is not positive. And somewhere your energy is not leveled with the universe in my mind. It's just not level. So you're attracting all this negative stuff. Yeah. Right, you're attracting chaos. Yeah. And you wanna wonder why. And now, because so many of these undesirables are attracting you, these magnets are attracting you because of what you're doing and you're putting out.
It's draining your energy.
You're thinking everybody's like that. So now you're not only treating the bad, you're treating the good bad. You know, so you'll never get it right. Yeah. You're never going to get it right because you're putting everybody in that same box.
Yeah,
and you're treating them all the same way.
Yeah.
Instead of going, well, wait a minute, let me look at myself. I think that's the hardest thing a lot of people can't do is look at themselves in the mirror and go, am I not perfect, but what's wrong with me?
Right. How do I analyze myself?
What do I want to change? And that's the first thing you have to ask yourself. What do I want to change? Not change for your man, your woman, your dog, your cat, your children, but change for you. Because you're not going to be happy if you're changing for somebody else.
Right.
Because they might not be pleased with the changes you made.
Right.
So you're never going to be able to please them. So whenever you do the changes, you have to look yourself in the mirror and go, what don't I like about myself? Because I know we can find something. I know. Like, people just tell me, you don't ever listen. You don't listen to nothing. And you're so into that. And I'm like, I do listen. I didn't. Because I had to catch myself. Because what you were saying sounded like blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I don't listen.
Yeah.
Because I just tuned you out because you weren't here. You weren't saying what I wanted to hear.
Right.
So, I had to learn to say, let me stop and listen and hear exactly what that person is saying to me.
It's good that you said that. It's really good that you said that because I'm telling you, the same friend I just talked about, I had a conversation with him and he was talking about like how his mom doesn't really receive the things that is David's. He didn't really she didn't really receive what he was saying to her about certain things. And then I'm talking to him about things and he's just kind of like, yeah, all right, well, and I'm just like,
again,
you're a product of your mom, but I don't take it in an offense way because I understand that's all that you was raised under. So you're not seeing how that could be rude or disrespectful to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I say like that's rude and disrespectful, because sometimes people be in a defense mode or they be in their own mindset, they can't see past it until they want to. It comes down to will.
Well, it takes us back to the beginning of this topic, communication, right? People feel we have to look deep within and understand everything I say. If I understand it, might mean you might not understand it.
Right.
If you understand it, I might not understand it because of communication, how I relate it. So if I'm talking a certain way, and then we gotta look at the different dialects, the different slangs people use. People can take certain things wrong, the way you come at them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that can be miscommunicated.
Right.
And we have to understand if the person's not listening to you, if they're not listening to us, maybe your delivery.
Yeah.
It may be you gave them just a little bit and think they're supposed to read you the entire book.
Right.
When I'm a visual person, sometimes you can explain stuff to me and I still be like, what?
Right, you gotta see it.
So I gotta see it. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means you
learn
have to take a little bit more time to kind of break it down to a person when it comes to communicate so that they can understand what you're talking about.
Which comes down to patience.
Which comes down to patience, which comes down to removing that ego too. Because a lot of times I don't want to tell you how I'm feeling because it's going to make me feel vulnerable. It's going to make me feel weak. So I'm not going to give it all to you. Because if I do that, then you're going to think you hurt me.
Yeah,
you're going to think you hurt me.
Right.
It's like, no, I ain't telling you nothing. But then they ain't getting it.
Right. And this is why it's really important to be in a mind state and energy of blue, because when you're in a mind state and energy of blue, it's because I know the massage part is everything. You know, but you're really in a calming state where you can practice patience. You know what I'm saying? And people in a darker shade of blue actually have a lesser chance of patience. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand that. So since we're like finishing up the manicure and we're at the massage part, I do want to ask you this though. So how do you feel like are the difficult things that you feel when it comes down to communication? What makes it difficult for you to communicate with people today?
I think it goes back to what I said when I'm trying to explain myself, and maybe I have a barrier somewhere that the person either is not listening because they don't want to hear what I'm saying. I may not be saying what they want to hear. So they stop listening, and then it frustrates me. Then it changes my form of communication. I either say, okay, I'm done.
So you shut down.
And I shut down because I'm not going to go around and around in circles. Sometimes I realize, and I have to realize, if your mind is set already in a thought pattern, and I can't, not that I'm trying to change it, but make you see anything different.
Open your mindset.
Then I have a certain amount of time and patience that I'll spend on that person.
Right.
And then I just figure, hey, they're going to have to find out for themselves.
Yeah. When do you think it's a good time to kind of quote unquote shut down, especially if you feel like the conversation needs to be had, or the communication, especially if you're talking about planning and you're living a lifestyle with somebody, and you find that the way that you guys communicate based off of how you guys want to handle bills or finances or whatever comes about, but you guys have a clashing of heads. How do you break that shutdown?
When you talk about that, when it's that close, meaning the person is that close to you, there's somebody you love, there's somebody you're living with, there's somebody, a relative or whatever, that, to me, I give more time to them than I do a regular person. Somebody I don't know, that I just met, maybe a basic friend, or passed by friend, but a family member, a loved one, or somebody. I think it's just, we have to use all the measures of communication that we can. Maybe I'm coming at him or her, maybe I need to come at him or her a different way. Maybe I need to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to explain it to you in layman's terms. A lot of times people think, oh, layman's terms, what you think I'm stupid? No, baby, you ain't stupid. I'm just saying,
I gotta base it down.
Base it down even more, because I think you misunderstood what I was saying the other day, So I'll be more patient with that. Where I shut it off is if I've used and exhausted all communication skills that I have learned over the 99 million years I've been living, and I haven't been living that long, but I'm just saying, over all that wisdom, and you still don't get it, then you're going to have to fall and find out yourself. Because I've tried to tell you every time and that's kind of hard to do, because then that puts a decision on you. Do you walk away from that person because they're holding you back? Do you continue to keep things going and help the family survive and work it out? Because I don't know, you may have kids, you may have been together for 20 years or whatever. You don't want to start all over. I don't know, but that kind of puts the ball back in your court. So to give up on the communication, that's harder, not just for that person, but for you too now. Because now you have to make a life-changing decision.
Right. Now, before we leave, what's your love language?
My love language?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
so have you ever heard
how do I express love?
Well, yeah, I guess in a sense.
I express love. Look. What you mean?
Okay, we're going to say physical touch.
Love language.
Look. Well, then that's your next assignment. That's your next assignment. Whenever you look at us stuff, is look up the love language.
My love language.
Yeah.
It's not physical.
Yeah, no, physical touch is one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I can't talk to you. I can't talk.
Affirmations.
I can't talk to y'all about that. Y'all be like,
look, clearly
y'all be
it's
like-
all about the physical.
y'all be like, what?
Look, you probably
Like,
about words and
what you
affirmations too.
doing?
I'm done. Why is she like that?
Take this off of me, Nikki, before I
No, this is great. I love every moment.
stop. Before I start giving you too much, they be like, girl, you
This
gotta
is why we
sit
tune
somewhere.
in right here. This is nail time, you dig? Yeah,
Yours is what?
acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yeah, like she
All
shows
right
her
then.
love by things
Look,
that she does.
All right then.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's is aiming to please.
Period.
No,
Look, get it.
mine's is don't stop until you get it right.
And that's how you do it on a Friday. Hey, we ready for the weekend.
Stop, y'all.
I love it. Okay.
Cut me off now.
Yo, no. Thank you so much, Coco, for joining Apply Pressure to Life.
No
like,
problem.
This is a great first nail talk. Your
Yeah,
first guest
I
on the
like
actual show.
it.
So that's
I'll
literally
be
lit.
doing that again.
Yeah, you will. So thank you. I appreciate it.
So what you gonna do?
Yes.
Unhook me?
Yeah. Yes. You have a great day.